Welcome back to Street Trash, the godless show where real members of the horror community sound off about books, movies, TV shows, music, what fucking ever. Shooting this in an alley behind a step and repeat business. And here's the LA All-Star Game banners. I feel like a fucking all-star. And just so we're clear, and you don't fucking forget, this show is from the On this week's episode, we're going to talk about the world's greatest horror movie one-liners ever. Something kind of weird happened in the 80s to movies. They took dialogue and they changed it into this kind of like setup and punchline format, which became known as the one-liner. So it kind of became this weird trend where people would go see movies and then afterwards they'd go home to their friends and be like, I'll be back, or, you know, hasta la vista, baby. Because Arnold was the king of this. It seems like the movies became more about one-liners than the actual movies themselves. It actually kind of seemed that the writers of movies were specifically writing scenes to set up that big punchline, which they've made fun of several times on The Simpsons with the character McBain. I used to see you. Nonetheless, no matter how fucking stupid and dumb and against everything we know about being writers and writing dialogue, they're still fun. So there's a top. Tell us what your favorite one-liner is from a horror movie. And I know you guys are gonna not be able to resist doing fucking Freddy, and that's fine, because Freddy had billions of fucking one-liners. He was a one-liner fucking gimmick.
Let's get trashed.
For the world's greatest horror movie one-liner ever comes from John Carpenter's The Thing. Hypothetically, I probably could have chosen any John Carpenter movie, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. But by choosing The Thing, we run into another issue altogether. Which is the best one-liner from that movie alone? I really had to think long and hard about this because you gotta be fucking kidding me. It's fucking brilliant. However, after a very long internal debate with myself, I landed on the almost final scene of the movie, the climax. So The Thing is chasing Mac through the underground facility in the caverns, right? And it's like coming after him like a mole underground, like, and he's fucking booking and he's doing somersaults and all sorts of cool shit, right? And then the thing pops out of the fucking ground and Mac turns around and it's like this fucked up greatest special effects ever, by the way. It's this fucked up thing that's got some of the Siberian Huskies in it and Wilford Brimley's in it and shit like that. And Mac holds up this thing of dynamite and he fucking, it's lit, dude. And he goes, yeah? Fuck you too. And he chucks it at it and fucking blows that motherfucker to pieces. It's fucking brilliant.
Alright. Greatest one-liners of horror. That's fucking hard. It's goddamn hard because there's a lot of really good lines in horror. But I had to go with my OG, with Bela Lugosi, 1930s Dracula. My favorite movie of all time, and it's got so many really good lines in it. But the one that really it's close to my heart. Picture it, Pennsylvania, 1930s. You're Renfield, and you're shitting yourself because you're in a big, dark castle, big fucking staircase. In comes this dashing Hungarian accented man, Bela Lugosi.
Fuck you!
He says iconic line number one, I am Dracula. They have a few lines, and then he says one of the greatest lines ever. As a couple of sound effects guys do a shit job of wolf sounds, he says, listen to them. Children of the night, what music they make. That's a great line. I don't care who you are. And if you're like me, and you're putting on your black eyeliner and all your Bauhaus t-shirts, that's very cool for all the obvious reasons. But I watched that movie about 3 million times.
Fuck you!
And I realized something. That isn't really so much a line delivered by a man who is so evil that he just considers wolves, which will kill and eat you, as his children. No.
Fuck you!
That's a fucking threat. That is saying, I will feed you to these wolves, and you will become wolf shit. So that is a iconic, great fucking line.
Fuck you!
What's up, everybody? I'm Trash, and I'm here to talk to everybody who will listen about the most splendiferous cinematic moment. I'm talking about a one-liner so awesome that it's forever burned into my brain, thankfully, thank goodness. And that is in the classic original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. After a hard day of cooking cannibal barbecue and terrorizing youngsters, the cook comes home with the hitchhiker in tow and they have poor little Sally in a burlap bag or something. And then he sees that Leatherface has just been having too much fun chasing some youngsters around with his son swirling. And he's like tearing up the door, so the cook says, "Look what your brother did to the door!" And I love that, and that was the first time I could remember recognizing like self-referencing dark humor in a horror movie. And it's awesome.
Episode 6 of Straight Trash. I went out of my way for this one. You know what this is behind me? It's called Timberline Lodge. You know what movie was not filmed completely at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado? Just one, called The Shining. This is where they filmed the exterior. Talk about fucking one-liners. Talk about fucking Shelley Duvall's cigarette. Jesus Christ. Talk about fucking... But motherfucking here's Johnny. Can't beat it. Can't fucking beat it. Okay?
Hello, godless fucks. I am coming to you from the mean streets of Bangor, Maine, in front of the man's house himself, Stephen King, holding a Stephen King picture, ready to talk to you about the greatest fucking from a Stephen King book and a Stephen King movie, Pet Sematary with an S. Let me fucking tell you something. Poor little church got hit by a truck. Poor little Gage shouldn't have been playing in the road. Judd told him. He said, sometimes dead is better.